We also talked about other projects such as Museum Center, Music Hall, Memorial Hall, iconic buildings that both the city and the county have a vested interest in actually seeing survive and thrive in the long run because of their historic significance to the community's identity as well as to our cultural identity. But there are many more things that we can be doing, not just between the city and the county. We can be talking to the Cincinnati public school system and establishing a true partnership with the public schools. Our fates are intertwined. The city can help in terms of providing services through our health department, as well as, in addition, supporting high-quality early learning. We also can talk with other political jurisdictions that are having stretched budgets and are running very thin in terms of the revenues, and look at ways that the city and the county could perhaps assist them in providing basic services.
Mr. Cranley, to you for 30 seconds.
Yeah, I intend to work regionally to align our requests to both Washington, D.C. and to Columbus. You know, we have Congress people here who have passed laws against the streetcar, and yet my opponent wants to go try to get more money out of Washington for the streetcar. Let's find ideas to build our community where we're all in agreement. We have limited political capital in Washington and Columbus, and I think we've got to build the Brent Spence Bridge. We've got to rebuild the Western Hills Viaduct. We've got to do I-71 and Martin Luther King. We've got to preserve access on I-75 at Cincinnati State, and I will do so by acting regionally.
Our next question is also from a voter concerned about the city's natural resources.
My name is Robin Carruthers. I'm a city voter, and I live in Kennedy Heights. There are 5 major off-road trails in the city. They include the Mill Creek Greenway Trail, Wasson Way, Little Duck Creek, and Ohio River West and Ohio River East. Why are these hike and bike trails important to the city of Cincinnati? As mayor, would you work to ensure that all 5 of these trails are benefited by sustainable and equitable allocations of available city resources?
And we want to point out for this question, each of you will have 30 seconds. Ms. Qualls, we're running out of time. You guys were so entertaining. There you go.
Well, thank you. I have been a longtime supporter of bike hike trails, including the Mill Creek Greenway, and most recently the Western Riverfront Walk. I was on Saturday at the Wasson Way planning meeting. These are important investments in our neighborhood that enhance the quality of life. They attract residents, and they also stimulate economic development and job growth in those areas. We know that from the studies. We know that they are successful. They are as important an investment in terms of quality of life as is the streetcar.
And Mr. Cranley, to you for 30 seconds.
Oh, I believe big time in Wasson Way and Ohio River West and the Mill Creek Bike Trail. And it's right there, and it's not that expensive. But it just hasn't been a priority because the priority has been a streetcar. I believe if we cancel the streetcar, take the $37 million from the Blue Ash Airport money, part of that money can help create these bike trails as we move forward. In addition, it's important to note that one of the bike trails was threatened by the parking meter deal, that if they would only get their money if they supported the privatization of the parking deal. We will get it done. And we will try, and we will stop the parking privatization.
And as we close on tonight's debate, we move from questions to closing statements. Each candidate will have 90 seconds, and we begin this evening with Ms. Qualls.
Well, thank you. This election is about the type of city we want Cincinnati to be in the future. It is a choice about continuing the progress we celebrate or pulling back because we're afraid or we have doubts. It's a choice between one candidate who has spent a lifetime proving the city's doubters wrong and another candidate, my opponent, who has chosen to be the voice of those doubters. We cannot cut our way to prosperity. We have to invest. And we know success is never guaranteed, but Cincinnati has a track record of investment in people and development that brings jobs that allow people to support themselves and their families. John Kennedy said, "We cannot predict the future, but we can make the future." And who leads our city over the next 4 years is a critical decision. I'm a leader who will continue our movement forward because I have the experience, the judgment, the temperament, and the skills to build consensus around a shared vision. And I also have the toughness and persistence to overcome the doubters. We are building a 21st century city that can compete nationally and globally. And we are building a city where all of our residents, white, black, and brown, will participate in the prosperity that comes with progress. On council, I have led in the building of the city. As mayor, I will continue to lead in the building of the city, and together we will prove our city's doubters wrong. So please join me to continue the progress, and I ask for your vote on November 5th. And while you're in the voting booth, please remember to vote no on issue 4.
Mr. Cranley.
My opponent mentions her judgment. In the 90s, she was the lead spokesman for the stadium deal. She added $100 million in cost by moving the stadium west. She built a $50 million riverfront transit center that's never been used. She tried to outsource our police department, is trying to build a streetcar by raising property taxes, and is trying to jam the parking deal through. You know, if a family squanders its fortune on a bad investment and the family pulls back together and puts a little bit of money together, you don't let the same person make the same investment decisions. I think we need a new investment advisor in this city, and we need someone who has the experience to know the difference between good ideas and bad ideas. My experience in the public sector, the private sector, and the for-profit sector give me the experience to say, let's get back to basics, police and fire, and reducing the violence and the shootings. Let's pave roads again. Let's balance downtown and neighborhoods. I am not a doubter of this city's future. My son is this city's future. I love this city. This city has given so much to me and my family. And I promise you, I will do everything as mayor to grow opportunity for all, jobs for all, and bring fairness to our budgets and to the quality of life in all of our neighborhoods. Because I believe that we have a very bright future with the right, responsible leadership forward. Thank you.
Thank you to both candidates, and that concludes tonight's debate. We want to thank the candidates, Roxanne Qualls and John Cranley, for their participation. Thanks also to our panel, Tom McKee, Kevin Osborne, and Andrea Ladotte Blackman. Thank you also to our partners, the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber, the Cincinnatus Association, and the Cincinnati League of Women Voters. And remember, Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. Good night.